Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Emma Grimstead, and this is my first video. I am creating this channel simply as a way to kind of act as a journal for this stage of my life. And there's a lot happening, a lot of exciting things, a lot of big things. And I think it's nice to be able to share that and also document it for myself. So I have kind of these videos to showcase it all. A little bit about me. I'm 28 years old. I live in Ontario, Canada. My husband and I have been married for 2 years now, and this past year we renovated our 1973 bungalow into the now home of our dreams. That is an ongoing project. There are always things going on. There's many rooms that are not finished. So this is also hopefully going to act as a place where I can showcase some of those projects and transformations as we come to it. Another big thing that's happening is that I am officially 19 weeks pregnant. This is huge for us. We are so over the moon, and we are also not naive to the fact of that we are so lucky to be in this position. It was not a completely linear, easy thing for us to get pregnant, but definitely a much easier journey than most, and I'm very grateful for that. And my heart, it goes out to anyone that is in there trying to conceive chapter, and I am sending you all the baby dust vibes that happens for you very soon. So I wanted to say that before I kind of get into our personal journey. One of the things when I was waiting for that big fat positive that really helped me and made me excited was watching videos like this that kind of talked about those really early pregnancy signs. So I think I'm going to kick off my channel by talking about those very first signs of pregnancy, those symptoms like early after ovulation, that maybe gave me the hint that maybe something was going on, though I don't think I really believed it. I actually didn't even tell my husband that I had a positive pregnancy test for like 5 days for a lot of different reasons, but one being I didn't believe it. There's still days where I still don't believe it, and I'll be throwing up in the toilet and telling myself, I'm not sure what this is. So I think I'm going to start with that. So I wanted to just I wrote down a lot of notes while I was waiting for my missed period. Even though I was starting to see faint lines, I also did a line progression, which I will show at the end of this video maybe, and show you just kind of how those lines progressed. Although it is pretty old now, some of them are yellow looking, but it is kind of cool to see. So I thought, I have my little notes here, but I thought I would share with you some of those early pregnancy signs, so I'll get into it. Okay, so at about 6 DPO, so 6 days past ovulation, I was feeling emotional, a little irritable, and a little anxious, but anyone that knows me knows that not necessarily out of the ordinary, so I didn't really think too much about it. 7 DPO, I had some wild dreams, some crazy dreams. I know that seems like a bizarre thing, but I have heard that that's a symptom, and the wild dreams have not stopped. So yeah, and then a little bit of bloating. So that was 7 DPO. 8 DPO, I wrote like emotional, and I also had like a stabbing cramp in my lower right side, and like was so gassy and hungry, but also full, like just felt like super hungry, but couldn't really eat anything. Like I felt full, and yeah, I said a little throbbing in the breast, which is interesting, because I don't feel like I had much breast pain in the first trimester, which is a very common symptom, but I don't know, maybe I was hyper aware while I was looking for symptoms. Definitely was hyper aware. 9 DPO, I felt aching cramps on the left side. I remember that one being like really big. Like was having lots of aching cramps, like 9 DPO. Again, constant hunger pains, but like also no desire to eat. And then I was feeling like a little nauseous in waves, which sometimes is my anxiety. Is like, it'll show itself through like nausea, even if I'm not very aware that I'm anxious. So again, it wasn't sure. It's so hard, right? So many of these symptoms are PMS symptoms or just like everyday things, but you're so hyper aware while you're waiting for that, sign that you're pregnant, that sometimes everything feels like a symptom. So I wrote it all down just because you never know. And then 9 DPO is when I was like, you know what, I'm just going to take a test. I'm preparing myself that it's going to be negative. And it was so faint, but I saw a line. I'll post it here. Yeah, very barely there. And then I did like the inversion app where it changes the colors so you can kind of see it better. I'll post that one too. But definitely thought it was a crazy person. Yeah. So I had that first test, like even now, I can see it now on the line, on my line progressions. I have like them all taped here. But I'll show a better picture. And then 10 DPO got a little bit darker, 11 DPO, darker still, 12 DPO. I think it wasn't until like the 30th of October that I told my husband. So it wasn't until like 13 DPO that so I'd had like 4 positive pregnancy tests before I even told my husband, like 4 days, which is insane. I know some people like run, like, how do you keep that a secret? But our story goes that like my mom was here visiting. Wasn't really ready to share that news with him while she was here. And we couldn't really have a moment to ourselves to enjoy it and be excited together. And then, yeah, she didn't leave till like late on the 30th, and we were having a Halloween party that night. So we had guests coming like within the hour by the time she finally left. And I had to like quickly tell him, be like, I'm pregnant. We need to find a way to like hide the fact that I can't drink tonight. But yeah, it was pretty remarkable. We were both very much in shock. I don't think we had really let it sink in. It was just kind of this bizarre thing. And then we didn't really get to talk about it till the next day. So it was such a whirlwind, but also very exciting. And it was nice to know, like, I had those few days to kind of process it myself, to kind of digest, like, okay, this is real, this is happening. Also make sure I didn't get my period in those days, which was nice too. Yeah, and I continued to take tests until 26 days DPO. So I wrote some more symptoms, some like early pregnancy things that maybe you can look out for too. So like at 15 days past ovulation, I officially missed my period, or when my period was supposed to come. I've been tracking my cycle using like the thermometer app and thermometer for quite a while, for almost 2 years. So I was very aware of my cycle, things to look for. My cycle was never, was always a little bit off. So like it was, sometimes it'd be, 29 days, sometimes it'd be like more like 31 days. So like, I feel like 31 days tended to be my general cycle length. But based on when I had my dating ultrasound and the fact that I got a positive so early, I think I ovulated earlier than I thought, which is funny because I never am like early. It's always a full cycle length, but this was, I think, like a 28-day cycle for some reason. I was having weird muscle spasms in my abdomen and like was feeling very bloated. I said I was feeling very tired, nothing debilitating. Called the doctor's office, was waiting for a call back, and was like, oh, I'll continue testing till like day 18. Yeah, try 28. I just kept saying that, like, I was taking a prenatal vitamin. I was taking like folic acid while we were trying to get pregnant, just as like a precautionary, like helping my body prepare for that. And I wrote that it still hasn't sunk in. It doesn't feel real. And I was cautiously optimistic. It's in my little diary entry. But yeah, 16 days past ovulation, I actually met with my naturopath, who's a fertility specialist in her studies. So that was really nice to be able to share it with someone, like a medical professional that way. She just kind of confirmed what vitamins she thought I should be on while I kind of wait to see the midwife. And yeah, what foods I could be eating for optimal health. I'll tell you that went right out the window once I start the nausea hit at like week 6. But I'll talk about that in another vlog. So yeah, so that was great. What else? I just felt like really excited that day. And I think that's when it kind of like was like, oh my gosh, today is a good day. I get to tell someone it felt real. And anyway, 19 days past ovulation, I was accepted to the midwife program for our local midwives. Was very happy. What else? Did I write any symptoms? These are all just like diary entries, I swear. I said still not a lot of symptoms, a bit of a headache, some minor cramping in the evenings. 20 days past ovulation though, like I was seeing on the line progression, like I had got a new kind of test. Like I ran out of strips, so I bought more. Like why? Anyway. But I felt like I really wanted to see that dye stealer strip to know that my HCG levels were progressing. And I think I got it with that new strip. Like, it must have been a little more sensitive. I was still doing my temperature, my basal body temperatures, and it went down quite a bit. So I didn't know if that was like a bad thing or a good thing, but I started to panic, of course, because that's what you do. I said only symptoms are sore nipples. So that's the thing. I always had sore nipples, but like not sore breasts. I don't know. Anyway, and I was experiencing a beginning of some mood swings, but like the cramping made me feel so worried all the time, because you associate cramps. You're like, oh my gosh, something's wrong. I shouldn't be cramping. It felt like my period was coming. But the more I read and learned, it's like actually very common and normal. And it's actually your uterus expanding or like implantation continuing. So yeah, so if you are experiencing cramping, obviously if there's any blood and stuff with that, contact your healthcare provider. But for me personally, it wasn't cause for alarm. It was just my body reacting to the pregnancy. Had lots of literature sent over. Yeah, guys, this was amazing. By 5 weeks pregnant, that's when like the baby's like the size of an orange seed. So still so small. I keep writing in here, like, doesn't feel real. And I will tell you, it still doesn't feel real. I have an anterior placenta, so I can't actually, it's going to probably be a while longer before I feel the baby move and kick and stuff, which is super disappointing, but it is what it is. But I don't think that's helping me wrap my head around the fact that there's going to be a baby here in 4 months. So wild. Anyway, lots of bloating, gas seemed to be a big one, like painfully slow. By like mid week 5, some nausea started to kick in. And by week 6, I was full blown nauseous. But yeah, that's kind of like the early pregnancy stuff. I will do another vlog talking about the first trimester, where we're at. And so yeah, that's kind of the early stages of pregnancy, symptoms and stuff that I personally experienced. I know every single person is different, but if this helps you identify some things that maybe will clue you to take a test, then that's great, because who knows, someone could be just like me and have the exact same kinds of symptoms. I will do another vlog based and just talk about what the first trimester was like. But if you're here, welcome. I'm excited to kind of kick off this journey, and I'm going to try and release a video weekly. And yeah, hopefully there'll be some like home decor and renovation stuff thrown in the mix. But right now my big journey is this pregnancy and growing a little babe. And yeah, I will talk to you more about that in the next video. So again, thanks for being here, and talk to you soon.